They sealed the stone. The lions were already roaring, and Daniel was still praying. What happened that night inside the den would shock an entire empire.
Daniel was no ordinary man. He had survived wars, captivity, and changing kingdoms. Now, under King Darius, he had risen once again to a position of honor. The king trusted him more than anyone else in the kingdom. But while the king admired him, others envied him. They searched for corruption. They looked for weakness. Yet Daniel was honest, disciplined, and faithful. There was only one way to trap him: through his devotion to God. The jealous officials approached the king with flattery. "O king, issue a decree. For 30 days, no one may pray to any god or man except you." Pleased and unaware of their plan, the king signed the law, and once sealed, it could not be changed. When Daniel heard the decree, he did not panic. He did not hide. He went home, opened his window toward Jerusalem, knelt down, and prayed, just as he had always done. The officials were waiting. They rushed to the king. "Daniel has broken your law." The king's heart sank. He realized too late that he had been manipulated. All day he tried to find a way to rescue Daniel, but the law of the Medes and Persians could not be undone. As the sun set, Daniel was led away to the lion's den. The den was dark, deep, echoing with growls. The king said softly, "May your God rescue you." Daniel was lowered into the pit. The stone was rolled into place. Inside, the lions circled him. Massive shadows moved in the darkness. Their eyes glowed. Then suddenly, everything changed. A radiant light filled the cave. An angel stood beside Daniel. The lions stopped. Their mouths were shut. Back in the palace, King Darius could not sleep. He refused food. He dismissed musicians. His heart was restless. At the first light of dawn, he ran to the den and cried out, "Daniel, has your God rescued you?" From inside came a calm voice. "My God sent his angel. I am unharmed." The stone was removed. Daniel was lifted out without a single scratch. The king was overwhelmed with relief and awe. He declared to the entire kingdom, "The God of Daniel is the living God. His kingdom will never be destroyed." And Daniel continued to prosper because his faith never wavered.
They sealed the stone. The lions were already roaring, and Daniel was still praying. The air was thick with fear and tension. Guards held their torches high, casting flickering shadows on the cold stone walls of the den. Below, the eyes of hungry lions glowed in the darkness, their low growls vibrating through the pit. Daniel, an elderly man with a grey beard, knelt calmly on the cold floor, hands folded, heart steady, eyes closed. He had served kings and survived empires, yet nothing had prepared him for this night. Above him, King Darius watched with a mix of hope and dread, his golden robe shimmering in the torchlight. He had trusted Daniel more than anyone in his kingdom, and now he feared that trust could be lost forever. Around the den the air seemed to pulse with danger. The jealous officials who had plotted against Daniel whispered among themselves, confident that the law would claim its victim. And yet, Daniel prayed, not in hiding, not in fear, but boldly, openly, with unshakable faith in the God who had protected him all his life. This night would test more than courage, it would test faith. And in the darkness of the den, a miracle waited, one that would shock an empire, silence the lions, and forever change the course of history.
When you stay faithful in the darkest night, God can shut the mouths of lions. Courage in obedience brings protection beyond fear.